Good morning, no?
Good morning. 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 What's going on, Ellie?
Good morning.
How we doing?
Be kind. I brought this back, because there's still the hostage situation, and I just couldn't forget about this beautiful merch. And even though I'm rocking the USA. Now, the USA is not the solution to this theme of the class.
Before we get to all that stuff,
Go on then.
today is Dalet Nisan. It also happens to be April 2nd.
April Fools was yesterday.
April
Anyway,
Fool's was yesterday.
so we're no
I think it's
jokes
one of the
today.
first times that I didn't pull like a prank on anyone.
Good, because you're busy. That's the blessing.
I'm
This time of
sitting there.
year,
I didn't
to
have
be
time
busy,
do
that's what
anything.
we're here for.
Yesterday was such a Baruch Hashem, such a crazy day. We had a meeting. Yes, just when Chesed had a meeting yesterday with a high-ranking official within the military, which was very interesting. Just a lot of amazing and crazy things going on. Trying to raise money right now for food vouchers for needy families. A lot of reservist families who've been serving for 350 plus days. Businesses have gone, into the toilet and don't necessarily have the ability to sustain their businesses. They need help. There's a lot of good that needs to be done.
A lot of good, a lot of good. Thank God everything's working good. We don't take for granted when we have a functional studio in the Shirat David classroom. We're
Yes.
missing Rav Shlomo,
Shout
sending
out.
him bracha and shefa in his trip to America.
I'd bleed die.
I'll
I'd bleed
Which is
die.
part of the point. We're still in Geulah. So the fact that Rav Shlomo has to travel out, that means no shirim here from this week. I mean, he's not complaining. No one's complaining. It's just more like, let's just get this done already. Like, how much more fundraising chutzlights do we need to do till we're, complete here in so let's just bring the shefa back to the lands.
That's right.
Let's make it happen.
We would be remiss to not sing a song though.
That's true. It's Erev Pesach.
Well,
Everyone's very busy.
We're getting crazy busy for Pesach. So I think the most apropos song is from the Haggadah, which is Vehisha Amda. And is that Shwekey's?
It was originally from Jonathan Rizal, composed the song. And then
Shwekey made it famous.
Yeah, he did it together with Jonathan Rizal.
Okay. So we're going to try to do it justice to Jonathan Rizal and Jonathan Shwekey. And here we go. Vehi she'amda lavoteinu Vehi she'amda lavoteinu velanu Shelo echad bilvad amad aleinu lechalotenu Hamad aleinu lechalotenu Vehi she'amda lavoteinu Vehi she'amda lavoteinu velanu Shelo echad bilvad amad aleinu lechalotenu Hamad aleinu lechalotenu Ve'akadosh Baruch Hu matzilenu mi'adam Ve'akadosh Baruch Hu matzilenu mi'adam.
Wow, Rav Yaakov Sheki would be proud.
Would he?
I think so.
Nice.
Look, we're sitting in Eretz Yisrael, we're sitting in a frat, and we are focused on being kind and realizing that kindness is what bridges all the gaps, builds this beautiful community here in a frat and amongst all our larger communities in Eretz Yisrael and Yerushalayim and beyond. Realize that this is what connects us, the kind focus of Avraham Avinu all the way back. And Chag Pesach is definitely a big dagesh of the Chag of Avraham, of kindness and ahava.
Olam chesed ibaneh.
Yeah, it begins the Chagim, the Am Yisrael. We begin with Chesed. That's our shorish, our root. Am Yisrael Bala Chesodim, Bashanim, Rachmanim, but it's part of it is Chasodim. We're people who do kindness.
And one of the biggest kindness that you can do in this month
Yeah,
is Kimcha de Pesach.
right.
Extraordinarily important.
Very beferish.
Actually, Chacham Avadia was so makpid on it. I'm going through his Rabbi David Yosef, his son, who's now the chief Sephardic rabbi of Israel. He wrote a sefer about all of his father's Alav Shalom, Maran's minhagim and divrei Torah that he gave over throughout the Sdarim that he had together with him. And he said that Kimcha de Pesach was so important. And the reason why it was so important is obviously because how can we legitimately say Kol dichfin yetev yochal, kol ditzich yetev yifsach, if we're not helping our fellow Jew with all the things that they need, not just food, not just water, but also clothing, to help them with whatever you can. Again, whatever organization that you want to give to, obviously, if you want to give to Just One Chesed, hit me up, let me know, but give to whoever you can. It is so critically important. The Ramban, the first halacha that he gives over for Hilchot Pesach, Kimcha de Pesach. So just make sure that you give whatever you can in a respectable manner, so anybody and everybody throughout Klal Yisrael has what they need in order to have a nice, beautiful, amazing Seder.
Well, amen. I'll tell you something. I had an experience. Funny. A memory came back suddenly when you're talking. I was once with my father in London. I was in a shul. My father hadn't been to this shul before, and it was the first time I was coming back to London from yeshiva, a long time, like end of the 90s, 2000. And I was sitting there, and the Rav was giving a Shabbos Gadol drosha. I didn't even really know what Shabbos Gadol. I was still new to everything. Right. So it was my father new to coming with me to these experiences. And suddenly the rabbi, after giving this beautiful drosha, how Shabbos is mefanes the whole week. We always think that we have to prepare for Shabbos, but Shabbos is what brings the bracha. It brings the shefa. So the rabbi was going through how each meal is connected the first 2 days, and then the second 2 days, and the third 2 days till you get all 6 days. All the shefa comes from Shabbos. So he was giving that over, and then suddenly he turns around and he says, "What am I getting at?" Says, "I need your money and I need it now." So he suddenly calls out to everyone. And my dad almost fell off his chair because he thought he was hearing a rabbi speak Torah, and suddenly he's like telling me, "Give me your money." And he said, "Look, I have so many poor people, so many people in need for Pesach, Kimcha de Pesach, as you were saying, and that's it, done. Like this, that's the point. You really want to get the bracha and the shefa, you have to be a giver. That's just how it goes. You in order to makabel, you have to give. You have to be mashpia. You have to be a nosein. So what did you say? Chodesh Nisan. You said a beautiful line before we started.
Right. So Chodesh Nisan, bechodesh Nisan nigalu, bechodesh Nisan atidin negael. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's in the Gemara Masechet Pesachim and Daf Vav Amud Aleph.
Yeah, it's also there's a beautiful concept that this is also the whole Rosh Chodesh is right now, that all the light of all the Chodoshim to come is here now as well. So how would you like to fill up all the months to come with acts of chesed, with Torah mitzvahs, but acts of chesed is the kiyum of the Torah, is this whole point of the Torah is to bring Malchus of Hashem, the Shekhinah, in our homes, into our lives, into our country, into our world. And this is a time where we can't be samech on any American president or anybody. We have to do it as Am Yisrael, as the way we do it.
Listen, we're thankful for what he's been doing, and whatever it may be. Like it's obviously a night and day in comparison to what was prior to.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, we have to rely again on a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Like I had so many friends that there was a certain part of me that really. Obviously, I wanted him to win because of the things that I believed that he said he was going to do and that he is doing. But a certain part of me almost wanted him not to, because I knew that if he wouldn't, so many more people from America would have made Aliyah.
But you know what? I'll say different to you. I want Hashem to come to us in a real way, in relationship. I don't want it to be this way, that way, all these cheshbon. We need to have barachimim tosha. We need to return back
100%.
So rachimim, and if there's human people and non-Jewish people who want to have a merit, he's most likely going to be one of them, to help Am Yisrael fulfill our purpose and bring humanity to a place of soul and revelation.
He's
and
been
Geulah.
taking care.
Let him have a chelik. Let him have a part.
Just FYI, he's been the one who's been bombing the crap out of the Houthis. And it's not. Yeah. He said, "All right, Israel, I got it."
That was like, so that's what Ben Shapiro, to quote him, like this whole thing going on with signature gate, like everything's a new gate. They find some anyway through media and lies to make negative, like Am Yisrael, make negative all the good that this president's been trying to do. So they've come up with this whole thing. Bottom line, what happened after that whole story? It was a successful bombing mission. Didn't mess up the mission. So in the end, it's a lot to do with the outcomes and the fact that they're trying, with human fallacies, trying to do the best they can. And that's much better than the other agenda, which is seemingly evil and trying to undo everything. So that's good. So, you've got a choice. People that are human and they've got fallacies, but they're still going to do good and their goals are good and their values are based on true values, on Torah or God or spirituality or Bible, however they call it. And then you have the alternative, which is to undo all these good things. And there's no good. It's just constant control and negativity. So we had a speak here of Moti Berger, came from Aish, and I think I mentioned it to you. But he said afterwards, I went for a walk with him after the shir he gave before Shalasudas here. It was beautiful after Mincha or before Mincha. So we walked up after Mincha up to his where he was staying. And it was Kedai just to have that extra walk because he said such beautiful things about how really we are being, because there's a whole infrastructure, and I wrote about this in my book, United Souls, this whole infrastructure which is financed and all about power and control, making us into children, making us into animals, making us into followers of the crowd. That's
what he
is
spoke
crowd
about on
manipulation. Yeah, and we've got to somehow, through becoming soulful, becoming an adult, and becoming people of the community and people who have unique, powerful values.
I like that. I didn't even think about that. Community.
Yeah, community.
Beautiful.
We have to head towards that kind of focus. And, you see, Avram Avinu was at Ishifri. He was someone who was going against the trends of the world, the current. And my son was very much appreciated this when he's on reservist, but he comes back for Shabbos. And we spoke about it, a beautiful meal. Another Bachis, Avram Shachar, we're by his house. And Shachar, is it Shachar Avram?
Shachar Avram.
So
Shachar and Alex Abraham.
So the idea.
The Yosef, Aharon, Yosef,
Shachar. My son's Aaron Yosef. So anyway, but Baruch Hitzak was saying he loved this thought about the salmon pushes against up the tide, ups the currents, and to get to those pure waters. That's what we've got to be as Am Yisrael. We've got to be people, and that's one of the reasons why we have it Shabbos as part of our Sudas, because we are what we eat. So it's very important right now, Vayikra, Korbanos, to tune into the self-sacrifice and the reality that we're willing to go for the true purity, true goals of Am Yisrael. And it takes a lot of strength and a lot of individualism, but the goal is to come together as a community, and that's what we are doing. I just want to have in mind a soul who unfortunately was by a shiva house yesterday, Yaakov ben Yamin ben Avram, and at the house was Levi Miller, who's Matziel's son. I had an opportunity to connect with his special soul, and I'd like to do, remember I mentioned the Svat concert, I'd like to bring him in, other such people. But then there was another soul there, unfortunately, the son of the Nifter, and the last words of his father, other than we were giving chizuk to each other and to keep fighting on, was the last words for him were to help his son with the music. He's a songwriter. So Mina Shemai, I literally spent the whole day, other than when I was doing my commitments, when I wasn't, I was trying to help find him a publisher and this and that, and I found. And thank God, Am Yisrael are kind. They responded. Even this publisher guy said he'll give time, he'll help him.
It's amazing.
And this is something which, Mina Shemai, like all the time you have to tune into, even when there's tragedies, that there's opportunities for us to be there, fill in a little bit, the missing pieces a little bit. And as whole as our heart should try to get to, we're brokenhearted at these tragedies and everything we've gone through. The fact, once again, there's still hostages and we're still in this war and there's still sirens going on almost every day. And, it's still not in an amazing place as it could be. And therefore, we all need to keep praying for that shlemus. And Levi Robbins, who I mentioned, the whole heart, also put out a song, Healing is Coming. And I recommend people should listen to it. I'm working with him, a new part of my Unity bookings, because once again, that kind of music, that kind of energy will help give us the faith and the emunah that we have the power within to bring out a positive outcome. You just listen to the words that he's singing and with such depth and soul. We have to understand there's so much potential amongst Am Yisrael now to really communicate, not just to Am Yisrael, but to the whole world, this light. And Chesed is definitely the biggest banner, I feel, that will really break through. I mean, the Tzaddikim said, Magen Avraham. Why does it end off Magen Avraham, the Shmoneh Esrei? Avram's just a theme, such a theme. Because we're ending off with Chesed. That's what's going to bring the Geulah.
I just want to remind everybody also, Chesed, it doesn't have to, I know I've said this 1,000 times, I'm going to continue